Well, hello there everyone. Welcome to King's Cross. Oh, this looks good, doesn't it? Oh, it's just the coolers kicking on already. And we're stationary, the coolers are kicking on, this is going well. We are in the Valenta HST that has just been released by Armstrong Powerhouse. This is my first time loading it up. Let's get the cab ready and go for a spin. That's a lot of smoke coming off the neighbour there. That's the CSR. I am in area 23, did it say? 23. Can't actually hit the 0 though. Oh, I can now. There we go, that's the radio registered. Just to make sure I've got the doors open appropriately. Let's have a look at the back. Oh, they're not powered on. Oh. PWO 1615. Got you. So only the front power cars are running right now. So we're going to go at the rear, energise the cab, and we're going to turn off the ETS, parking brakes off, but we're going to start this engine. So if I press Z, oh, so that is the engine now turning over. We now kill the cab, and now that the engines are put online, what we do is we're going to turn on the train supply at the front, or the back, sorry. We now pivot back to the front cab, and we ensure, yeah, 750 RPM means that's dead, and also means, ooh, we've got 67 over here, Queen's Messenger 67005, watching over all of the proceedings here. We've got some of the locals around us, so we're driving the old course in Andrews, which is, oh, the number's back here, 43108. To our right, we've got the Leeds International Film Festival, 43109. And on the rear today, we've got East Riding of Yorkshire, which is 114. Delta 50, which is 167. We've got DVT here, DVT. Am I hearing Atlanta? No, oh, it's Meridian. That's even better. So treble 2 here in Hull Trains. On the front here, we've got County Durham and Rev W Audrey. We are due off the blocks at 14:30 hours. We've got the road already set for us. That wouldn't be set yet. Ooh, I'll just leave us an initial on the brake front. That's interesting with the hold man. And we can change the headlight controls. Oh, this is the classic style. That's fun. So you go to the very rear, and this is obviously the classic style of headlight that you'd find on the HST. Basically, all they did is plate over that, and you can literally see creases on some of the power cars where they've plated over, and it's just sort of warped over the airs through impacts and stuff. But basically plated over, and then you replace the bulbs with LEDs, effectively. But we've got a minute and a bit. Let's just look at the coaches actually. So we've got obviously doors opening and closing. All the doors are closed and the windows are shut. I do wish the windows pulled down when you open them, but I can live without that. This livery does just look bloody good. Does indeed look blooming good. Like, you come to King's Cross and it looks classy, I think, is probably what phrase I'm looking for. You can see our rear power car here is hammering away, spewing smoke. Also, fun fact, so the way that you can see this, there's basically a crease in the roof there. That is designed to vent fumes out the top. It's basically designed so that obviously it lets the smoke and fumes out, like I say. But if you're standing here and the weather conditions are just right, it rains inside. But it's like the one time I've experienced it was the middle of summer, and it was actually lovely. So, got 30 seconds to departure. The doors are about to be closed. So jump back in the cab, set the reverser to forward. That is the full cab is set up. We verified that. We've got 20 seconds till the off. If you want, we can even let some of the fumes in. That's a feature they've now added. I hope that gets added retrospectively to the original HST as well, or the MTU, sorry. Because in the MTU, if you open the cab door, you don't actually see anything exterior-wise, whereas on here you do, which is quite fun. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. There we go. Actually, it's notch 2 as the puller, I believe, on a Valenta. So we'll use that. Okay, I'm using notch 3. Stuff it. Okay, she does actually pull away at a decent rate when you click her at notch 3. Love that sound. I will go idle once we exit the tunnel and then rev fully up so that you hear the sounds. So one of my stated aims for this video is to get cooler overheat. Basically overheat the engine then cuts itself to prevent damage. You can see the back half of the train now exiting the station. Clear the canopy. I do apologise, I have the level of detail setting very low at the moment. In fact, I'm going to do a jump cut and want to fix that. We are back. So, we're just pulling out of King's Cross now. You can see I fixed the stanchion there, so it's now back in existence. Convenient. I know. And our next stop is going to be Peterborough. Yeah, Peterborough Platform 4. So, like we said, one of the targets for today... Oh dear God, I forgot to do my headlights. Come on. It's offside, which is... No, it's other side. No, it's just it looks wrong to me because I'm in a weird headspace. Right, let's do it. So, I'm off speeding again on this section of track, so history repeats itself because I'm not paying attention. That's window hang. Guard looks back. No signal from the station staff. Back in the cab we go. So what we'll do when we pull out, like I said, we're going to let the train coast down up this incline, and we're basically going to rag it out the other end. Now, I've actually seen a train or HST going along with its cab door open on the move, because the cab door does not contribute to the interlock. So the cab door can be taken off for all the interlock cares, like physically removed off its hinges, and you'll still be able to get an interlock. So, what we'll do, notch 1. Just do it here so I don't have to talk over it. I'll mute myself so you can hear this. That's not too bad, is it? That is quite loud, but quite enjoyable to experience. So just the 43 will be deafeningly sound out here, but while we're sort of window hanging, you can get quite a lot of noise from the 91 and its coaches. Right, next thing for us is going to be we'll stand on the platform in Finsbury Park and we're going to watch it fly past. We kind of just got a notch 5 really, can't we, at this point? Especially in HST, which isn't the best accelerating train at the best of times. I've got the HUD up just so you can actually see what the train's doing. One of the features, like I say, I'm hoping to experience, and hopefully I won't experience this soon, is the cooler. Sorry, the basically the engine cut out through temperature, basically. And we'll just get the game audio up a lot. So, okay, this is going to be loud. All I can tell you is this is going to be loud. So first things first, with the doors. Just checking the instructions there. Sorry, 15:30. Scheduled in the Peter at 16:15. So we've scheduled 45 minutes exactly. No one takes 48 minutes these days. I wonder how it was quicker. You can see we're coming around the corner, and we'll just pause back to not for just temperature reasons. We're at 60. Let's just frame it a bit more better. The next train does to pass platform 4 does not call at this station. Really interesting comparison of the different noise between Mark 4 and a Mark 3 train, or an HST and a 225. When the isolated different original device up, and we're just breathing basically. So I'm going to get up my Armstrong Powerhouse website so we can get into the manual. The HST, so there's two factor HST available. It's looking like so they've said, there's 3 engine variants on the HST, MTU, which is what we've driven previously, VP1, to Valenta, and VP185. Valenta is the original, VP185 is one of the alternatives that they've mostly operated in overnight, that was the MTU instead, and VP185 is the real alternative because that runs mapping in Northwest. In simple terms, that is your East Coast main line of the HST explain it. I like the Valenta and the MTU, the VP185 was a bit fun for me, but that's just me. So, how to install standard space prototypes? The deliveries that are available. So, the Eastern routes that are BPR Intercity 125 have 200 delivery, and that's Eastern Region and Western Region variations. Intercity Executive, which is Eastern Region and Western Region variations on that. Intercity Executive is the yellow program of the power cars. So it was during the 91 firstly. Intercity Swallow yellow roof. Intercity Swallow small side numbers. Intercity Swallow 5 positions. And all of these have other variations. So Eastern Region Intercity Swallow small was Eastern and Western Region. Intercity Swallow is Eastern Region power cars, ATP power cars, cross country power cars, Eastern Region power cars, ATP power cars, onwards, cross country power cars. So going to the next revision. Intercity Swallow 4303A, which is basically before the yellow front, with a white roof. say I am. First Great Western White, First Great Western Teardrop, First Great Western Barley, GNER White Logo, GNER Original Light Cluster, GNER Revised Light Cluster. Now the above following delivery variations available at Powerhouse using above the above GNER variants. These actually is nameplates. To show or hide them, please select. So you see the numbering section of this manual 43039. This is a version of the website. 43051 has an Egyptian pharaoh sarcophagus on the outside. 43099 has Wi-Fi is here. 43116 has London 2012 and 43120. And then you also have the GNER buses variants. And you also have GNER National Expresses code. So it's GNER with the white neck set stripe outside there. They don't include neck set in these, I don't believe. Oh, they did actually, it was not full length neck set. Should be next out you see it, the different next set. Virgin trains cross country. Virgin train. Grand Central. Middle main line is the original and right line clusters. Now for middle main line it's really like host. So yeah, then middle main line blue, which is middle main line 3, middle main line Rios, middle main line logo, middle main line Space Trains logo. And lastly, Space Trains. How is it that they catch that Valenta when you press that? It's got like 4 things behind them. And we've got Network Rail, which is with the local windows, painted over local windows, painted over rear local with rear local painted over local and revised by clusters. Network Rail 2 is plain, that is got the top pipe Lisa. 089, the network rail 2 and Cotswold Rail 43070, Hornby 43087, which is basically HST that's done out in Hornby. I don't know which one came first, the Hornby or the other one. We'll have a look at the So this is, they've got different colour variants model. This is with Marston bracket GNR mod. There's the four versions of colours with Marston GNR modification, Surge / Void Brush. In the late 1980s, Kitten rated to bucket to 8,000 outside of the Germany, using diesel customers who want to display in market approaches of arriving. I wonder if it needs the money because the two of them before that, that's 6. What was the last two? The same down the Just checking the rear there. You see that is the original thing. Black clusters, you've got the original with black marker and / tail casing. Original grey marker / tail casing. That's the rear again. So that looks like flash marker. Yeah, because grey is quite like grey. Then original LED / tail marker / tail lights. This is not like that. Oh, I'm trying to cut out. Red. I'm going to have to coast for a bit. I've basically killed the engine at 104 miles an hour. That's quite humorous to me. Just got to let the engine cool down for a while. This is awkward. I am presuming the far light will just extend. We'll find out eventually. And then the original lights around got some different stuff on them. So the looking trying windows. This is with the original one removed. Yeah, both of these got that. And then there's also rear windows here on some of the power cars, but neither of these have them. Horn grill, black, yellow, silver. You also got the aerial mod, some of them. So you've got black and black. The camera, measuring frame. There you go, my engine's back. Next, in the 1980s, Eastern Region Powerhouse had a section of the cooler group were removed, quite easier access. That we saw on the MT one as well. There's a 1 in 10 chance of a power craft because it's got oil from the oil filter on the roof. And that's basically just a strip of black on the side. This doesn't appear to have one. Neither does this. That's a 2 in 10 taker. We'll see if we spot them. Mark 3 variants. Trailer first, trailer car standard. Trailer restaurant first buffet. Trailer restaurant unclassified buffet. Trailer restaurant first kitchen. Trailer lounge unclassified kitchen. Trailer restaurant unclassified kitchen. Oh, that's interesting. So I think I just, because, yeah, the brake has started to apply that is genuinely fascinating. Right, we're going to go up to that 5. Want to rag it, just push our luck here. Going down a slight hill, we should be able to move that to our advantage. Truck, trailer restaurant, unclassified kitchen. Trailer restaurant first buffet. Trailer restaurant first buffet different. Trailer restaurant standard buffet. Trailer first standard disabled. First standard disabled then master pack. Cab variants. This is, so this is wearing the pen number after the Western one and the Great Western one. One, Cab guys. Desk right. Excuse me. Cab guys. HST. Clyde factor. Let's get that for the truck tank because it's empty in the end, isn't it? Desk right. Directly RA. Done. Plan factor. Plan factor's maxed out, so anyway, horn. That is the best horn for me. And motor factor. You should have all the noise. Just outrageous experience. Should I double check actually? I haven't brought up a new audio here. I think I have. Oh well. Turn it back ever so slightly. In the cab we go. We're now blasting through Welling Garden City. I think it's going to be Monday's video, but I'm just going to forget it's SOS guys. I fucked it. I kept forgetting to turn the hood back off. I wasn't looking at it too far. I do know this route very well. And I've headed it. Oh, that was a proper DS deactivation that time. Wait for the brakes to come back off. Catering crew now want to murder me. Whilst we wait for that brake to come off, I'm going to turn the hood back on. This looks nice, right? Brakes now releasing. It's crazy how much you can still hear of the MTU. I am isolating the DSD for now, the VVD for now. I'm enjoying the noise levels coming off this though, like, it is, I was chatting to some of the sort of more tenured to meet crew and guards, and they were saying like these things you had hearing damage from them. And I can't help but agree. Like, even just sitting with it in the sim, I'm like, yeah. And I understand why the guards, because this used to be the guards compartment, and the guards are like, no, we're not, that's not good enough. I can understand why that was a view the guards took, shall we say. But alas, so yeah, this is going to have to be a Saturday video, and I figure out a video for tomorrow. By the way, in case you're wondering, it's Thursday, so the pack has literally just released. Anyway, sorry for ADHDs. We need to basically just stick to this. There's the 125, we're at 80. Just verifying, just keep up full power on. So features, great care has been taken to simulate the distinctive powering and braking characteristics which make this train such a challenging to drive. I will tell you though, it makes it one of the most rewarding as a result. This section details what is simulated and dictates the HST should be driven. Basically chart the RPM, which is vaguely the same, I believe, as the MTU. Load timings are vaguely the same. One engine only, OEO operation, traction motorized station, tapping out notches. Redundancy having 2 car cars provided has often been used as a general gel-free car to keep services running, albeit with reduced performance. The traction physics of both power cars in a set are calculated completely independently in this pack, which allows us to provide the operation to run with only one power car providing traction power. Pairs of traction motors can also be isolated, as well as the tapping out of power notches, which in reality prevents power being taken up at a certain power notch by simply placing a piece of electrical tape over the contact on the speed previewing relay to stop the engine energizing that notch on the governor. Any one of these in and out are done to combat faults. Hot water temps, so we had that cut out there earlier, which is quite cool. Due to running at high speeds for extended periods, past 43 of current running rather hot, especially in the summer. The original Marston cooler groups weren't best at handling this, and hot water temperature trips were fairly common during hot weather. HWT trips, or the traction carriage cut, as a last resort. Speak of the devil in it, shall appear. That was the traction cut there. Traction carriage cut as a last resort to prevent the engine coolant from boiling itself dry. If this occurs, a general fault will remain in the cab, regardless of the power notch selected. Do not return the power notch to off though, as the rear power car will stop power as normal. Once the temperature of the coolant has decreased sufficiently, and your power car power will automatically return to the second position on the power handle. In the 2000, both cooler groups were fitted to some first great Western power cars, and later brush cooler groups were fitted to some Midland Mainline, East Midlands trains, and Network Rail power cars. These were more effective and look to deal with high water temperature with light touch alterations at lower temperatures before cutting power altogether. So yeah, you can hear the back powering, the front in idle. I would be interested to know, will the back cut out as well? Because logically it should overheat at some point too. So if the voice cooler group detects the water temperature is becoming too high, it will isolate power notch 5. Even if the driver has taken no trailer and notch 4 will provide. There you go, that one's now cut out. The front's now back on. The back's now being taken for a drive. Jesus. I mean, we didn't lose any speed to that at least. So if the voice cooler group does that, which we haven't got that bit, so it doesn't really apply to us today, but basically, like I say, notch 5, yeah. On a Valenta engine power car, the brush cooler group does not derate. The only benefit is improved cooling efficiency. If derating or a high water trip occurs in the power car, you will not receive general fault, and will only know if you sense a sense of decreased rate of acceleration. To achieve this simulation to a realistic level of temperature related events don't happen too often or too little. We've created our most complex coolant temperature simulation to date. Jesus, guys, right. It's basically all the factors you can imagine, so yeah, that's cool. Please note, sustained running at speeds of 100 miles an hour more with at least 7 coaches during the afternoon summer is when you're most likely to experience any temperature-related issues. The engine really does have to work hard for a sustained period to start getting up to a critical level, so this is something you rarely experience. This is intentional. To even more, to add in more variety, there's a 1 in 50 chance of having a faulty thermostat, which keeps the coolant running at all times, and this is the maximum speed in relation to engine RPM. On void/brush cooler groups, this chance changes to 1 in 20 in summer to simulate fitters using the pattern override switch to aid cooling on power cars, particularly prone to high water temperatures. Finally, there's a 1 in 20 chance of a master cooler group having a faulty thermostat, which when active runs the cooler group at its maximum speed in relation to engine RPM instead of regulating itself to coolant temperature. Certain groups already work in this manner. So basically it's just flat out. What's crazy to me is we've had a 125 line speed since Nebworth. When I'm going through pitching, and we're barely cresting 120. You notice I'm switching flyovers, not here anymore. That's like at Cambridge on the right. WSP, that's standard. Adhesion, that's standard. I'm only covering the stuff that has changed. Unlike many modern trains, the 43 is working flexible when it comes to emergency brake applications. Unless you miss any reverse warning, which causes the TPWS brake application, you're able to apply the emergency brake and release it whilst on the move. You do not need to wait for the brakes to stand. Variable traction, variable brake performance, fair enough. Parking brake. Well, actually, what we can do is power off. That is our running brake test. Now brakes on the HST come very quickly, they come off very slowly because the brakes are applied from both ends, but only when it's from the front. Variable performance, compressor, gradients, so this is basically increased gradient performance. So basically TrainSim doesn't consider variance less than 1 in 200, it just thinks it's flat. The HST has added scripting to change that. ATP, we'll cover that off when we do an ATP power car. NRN, we're logged into it, and then there's also an object, this is one, I like this one, that you can place trackside, so the trigger, and it changes the area automatically. General fault lights, this illuminates. If the brake test switches the test, brake pad pressure is 1.4 bar, main reservoir pressure is 1.4.2 bar, flying power too soon after moving panels off. Headlights. One in 20 chance of both being on now, which is 3. Both headlights are ATP for the power cars. That's interesting. On all the power cars, there's a 10% chance of night headlights, 2% chance of day headlight, no length time of day. Pros 1998 for both headlights. So that is on the revised on these. Dynamic exhaust effects. So we saw that. Exhaust cam. That's exhaust cam. ETS, that's actually train supply, we talked about that. It's basically always on the rear power car, so if the rear power car dies, you turn it on again. Without basically minimal interruptions to the onboard service. DVD, there's also a dead variant which we've got tail lamps on. Cold start is simulated. There's an audio section which goes through loads of in-depth stuff. Turbocharge, single bank firing, cooler group, brake simulation, compressor form, form factor is a thing. Oh, we have to do soft tone, which is so normal tone, soft tone. We are looking at 4, which is 43 or something more. AI trains will also sound the horns in scenarios at certain markers, so the 365 will blow its horn. It'll be more than a mile and a half behind us the time it passes that. So both ends are now firing. Nope. The rear end's working. The front end's cut out. This is genuinely astounding as to how often these things are cutting out. You could pop the door, create a load of wind in the cab, basically blow a load of the smoke out that we still have in here somewhere. This is Biggles. This is Biggleswade. This'll Biggleswade, yeah, sure. Whatever. 125. Passing through the Biggleswade area. We are fully dead again, aren't we? Jesus. So yeah, the AI tones is basically set on a private level. I can't bother to set that up in scenarios. Deal with that. On the whole, cab sounds such that they say on the tin there are a couple of items of note though. Car cars have different sounding ground guard buzzers. VT and Midland Brio got different AWS. VT and Midland Brios have different AWS. If driving a power car with its engine shut down and the rear wants to back ETS, so you have the aircon set in the cab, which revs up and down with engine RPM. With a power car, this controls the voltage powered by the ETS goes 134 volts from the inside at 415 at 5. The aircon should be powered by this. Both power cars on an AI train rev up and down in sync, which can work with AI trains or might be turned while it's raining. Speedometer and needle drift due to small enough speed calculations, that's the cabs. On AI trains during the summer, between 9 and 26, there's a 20 chance of both cab doors being open and a 1 in 10 chance of that door being open. That's cool, we need to keep an eye on that. Also, cool good roof louvers open when the engine is running. Yeah, we haven't got the mask on yet. There is a random version of the doors broken, but I'm doing that. AWS fault light in the cab extinguishes when you move the reverse brake off. Instrument lights illuminate when the engine reverse off. The reverse brake only to start the engine. 1 second delay from the train passing over the AWS magnet firing. The headlight only for illumination from sunrise after sunset. The engine start will start up. Sorry, the engine start button will start up all power cars in an HST formation. The engine start button will shut down all power cars. The fire alarm test button shuts down only the power cars you are in. The engine stop will illuminate if either power car or both power cars are shut down. Features for Mark 3s. Stand door coaches. On coaches there is a stand door. Door is in the description, open doors at random. This means it's very rare that all doors will be open at once. It's like reality. The only exception is the car's door, which suggests it remains open the whole time. Central door locking. Earlier announced CDL was to prevent the doors being able to be opened or to move. Basically sort of the trade while the tragedy died. Both the original and lead variants both the original and LED variants exist. Finally, if you close, the open lock and is this light. So basically, guard it. So the light goes out a few seconds after the door closes. The guards got possible. That's quite cool. And you'll hear the locking bolt ring. Coach letters. Coach letters are represented on a lot of deliveries. Firing out of the order formations. These are typically polite. Depending on the formation, one exception is using GC and HSTs running in the coaches in a consistent order. And so there's no coach letters on at all. Also, the INC 125 with no TGS or ticket will be equivalent to manual conventions display with capital letters. Table lamps. These light up at night, and you can actually see them from the outside, which is very cool. Mark 3s have very distinctive sounding air suspension, which is interior in great detail. When releasing air, they make a hissing sound, so that's a sort of whine. You hear it to point. When loading a scenario, each bogie on a coach circuit random pitch value, so they will all whine at different pitch as to reality. As per reality. Sometimes the valve will only make a hissing sound and have a whine. How often the track releases, the valve says randomly dependent on speed and curvature. Some will sound at lower speeds and when leading into curve on super elevated track. There is a chance that upon stopping the valve will continue to reserve before slowly fading out and warming in pitch. Since the advent of rail grinding, Mark 3s have made a whining sound whilst moving on like a traction motor, which increases in pitch. as the speed increases. It's very difficult to pinpoint exactly when this became more prevalent. The mid-educated guess the late 90s. Liveries will therefore make this, or post-1990s will then therefore make that sound. In addition, only primary high-speed routes tend to receive a visit from rail grinder. Rail grinder. Gay train joke here, basically. In addition, only primary high-speed routes. So this site has on secondary routes and branch lines. To try to account for this, if the speed of the line you're hovering on is below 8, you want to hit the 1. Flushing toilets. On coaches not fitted with retention tanks, brackets these, above 50 miles an hour, each toilet will be flushed every 3 to 15 minutes. This function only activates once the doors have been opened in a scenario to try and prevent these effects in fact appearing on empty coaching stock services. These effects are also disabled on the new veteran train. Whilst this all may seem rather silly, seeing this from the line side, always added to the sense of speed, as these make the machines flee by. You just have to remember to look away at the right moment. Just checking where we are. You know what, we'll close down to 120. There you go. Passenger views. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different variants of the internal movie that we just saw, the GNR version of. Oh, fair enough. Bits and bobs. Cool, I'll put some up for the Mark 3s, Jesus. The frequency at which air conditioning sounds activate and stays on is dependent on the season. The internal aircon sounds rather than revved in with engine RPM as the powerhouse playing ETS. When entering the passenger view from Midland, coaches are in 10 chance that within 20 seconds hear the announcement chime. Apart from the network rail, trains, coach and data around panels show the correct information as per the coach variant. Setting up the driver's cab, we covered that when we were prepping. Driving guides just advice for driving it better. Cold start, basically you specify 20 stuff in the number, which is quite cool. Single bank firing can be false on as well, which is quite cool. It's basically single bank. So 12 of my this is a V16, so basically 8 cylinders firing it. Should have single bank firing, if I'm honest. Talking crap, I think. Anyway. There you have it though. So scenarios that come with the pack, you've got Sheffield to St Pancras to Manchester Piccadilly, Weston to Paddington, Paddington to Plymouth, Peterborough to King's Cross, King's Cross to... I'm leaving the timings out. Right. So that should be there in about 9 minutes, which we will make. We lost 2 or 3 minutes just due to the engines cutting up, which is anything, and my driving skills. I remember actually seeing this bridge the other day when I went over it. I think it was actually connected to it. Obviously, I travel this route quite regularly for work. You'd be surprised how little that I see. Like, I can't remember ever seeing Huntingdon breakdown mall. Because at this point, I'm probably panicking trying to get the last drink from them. Yeah, 10 minutes the other side of Peterborough, that's what I'll be doing. It's really strange, but stuff like that. Yeah. That's 125 post. Oh, we've got SC. Sorry. There we go. I do, you know what, I do enjoy this livery, and it's been nice to be able to take GNER back out. Like, the GNER livery is one of... So, as I've said before, one of my earliest memories is being in Newcastle Station, or what we call the Square now, what I now know is known as the Square, and seeing a Mark IV arrive in GNER livery when the first time I went to London with my family. When I worked lad, literally. Now, it is just... I remember even like seeing a social media post that was involving Harry Potter at King's Cross, and in that you get the GNER locos hanging around. And they actually filmed it apparently whilst the station was open because they couldn't get permission to close the station for it. But anyway, but to me though, that was just such a lovely surprise to see that living at. Oh, like it just, they don't make trains like this anymore, or they don't make trains look like this anymore. Also, something that happened to me today, which you may find quite entertaining. I was sitting doom scrolling on Facebook, on TikTok, sorry, and came across a video a lovely gentleman had posted of himself fare evading. And it was at a station that my work has quite a high presence at. And I happened to have spoken to the head of like basically fraud and the guy who's in charge of the revenue team. I went, "Hi, insert name here. Just wanted to let you know, I was enjoyed our conversation the other day. I was just doom scrolling Facebook, Twitter, TikTok this morning, and I found this. It may be of interest to you." But like, don't film yourself, and then don't film yourself committing a crime, literally. So fare evasion on the railway is not a civil offence, it's a criminal offence because of the wonders of how old the railways are, basically. And yeah, it's quite entertaining when people find this out. Oh god. So what, this is the 4 wide section? Yeah, this will be the 4 wide. I think we'll be coming from Connington potentially soon. So that's obviously Peterborough. Connington, boom! Yeah, I know this area. I know where we are now, basically. Honestly, though, I do, like I said, I do miss the HSTs. Like, I was just looking at them the other day, and because I've been building a scenario for the new ATS wheries. That well, actually, I don't know what I'm going to research. Potentially later today. But you basically drive it from the HST staff charter from Norwich back to Great Yarmouth, and the contrast, like you start and there's a 755 on the platform next to you, and it's an incredible contrast. Quickly check that HST for open doors. So no oil poop, no oil leak. No open doors either with Aberdeenshire 43115 on the front. Just look pretty good. (105) warning. Yeah. I just put my hood back onto this, but it's not a route loading video anymore anyway. Beans are driving up here. Just wondering what hold is now on there. Yes, it is. Oh, look at that smoke as I go from idle to having some power on. A polar bear's just died. It just sounded amazing. Actually, stuff it. You know what? We are going to slow down for Peterborough now. That's insane. So anyway, hopefully you guys are having a fabulous, whatever the heck day of the week it is now. I am, to be honest with you, I'm just glad that I'm not at work today and I'm not at work tomorrow. It's been nice just having some time off work. So my next job is Edinburgh on Saturday morning. Which actually, the snows I want to build for this. So there was a real affair where basically an HST would go up from Leeds up to as far as Edinburgh on one power car, and then above Edinburgh, or at Edinburgh, sorry, a power car will come off Craig and Tinney and be attached to the back of the train. So you then go back to normal two power car fit, because under the railway rulebook, HSTs on one power car are not allowed to call it interkeithing, and that's due to the slope at the station. And basically the idea is they probably wouldn't be able to pull away with they just stick to a stand. It'd be very interesting to actually try and do that in the sim now that we can. So 105, put the flashing doubles. I'm going to shut off. There's a NSC 365 storms past. I'm actually in a really good mood today. So this has come out, and this is just incredible to drive. I've figured out I'll be able to afford to move soon. And basically things are going my way. Things are going Emily's way. I'm going to brake notch 4 as we sort of go under the hill here. And just use that as a... because we're going up a slight slope here. Quite a sharp brake, but... I'm not going to be down for that 30 in time, am I? Oh well. Single amber red ahead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we're going to the right. It's the first time I've ever experienced... No, we're not. We're going to the left. Well, Rick. And put the brake into running because we will drop down below 30 before that has come off. That's cool! Blunt end Mark 4. See, what I should do is, for the cinematic here, just go 9 cam, thank you. Alpha 3.3, 1505 off leads. I'm using TSRS PNAs, that's incredible. So this is Train Sim Rolling Stock, obviously the PNA wagon, we've covered it before on the channel. Central Trains 170 kicking it out. I will admit I am missing the Central Trains 153 here. But this is super cool. I want to go to the end. And the bar's normally in this area now. So got quite a ways to rumble forward. 66044, or 64, sorry. We've got the red at the end, but we are below. Got some 60s jumped in there. And there's our relief. So pull up next to him, even though probably could stop now. There we go. And we'll stabilise secure the cab. You know, take it off us from here. That's cool. So, what are my thoughts on the Valenta pack, HST pack by AP? It's expensive, but it's pretty good. If you can afford it, I would go and get it. If this is your era, definitely go get it. If you prefer doing the modern stuff, this is still pretty cool, but obviously it may not be as big of a thing for you. It's still got a grounding for me, so I quite enjoy it. Thank you for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye. Good driver. It's a hot one out there, but you made it. And the driver is here to relieve you for the onward journey. So I get to go back and sit and drink a cup of tea.